Yo, what's going on, y'all? Flexing with the world. We back at it. Flexing with Dex podcast. Special edition, man. We outside with it, flexing with the world. And who do we have here today, man?
What's good? I'm Christian Lamar. I'm out of Philly. I'm an R&B artist, and I can't wait to be rocking with y'all.
Flexing with the world, man. Y'all hear what it is. Philly Zone stepped out here in VA to flex with us. We're gonna have a walk with Christian Lamar today, man. Let's get it. So Christian Lamar, man, fresh out of Philly, R&B artist with a blend of gospel, EDM, jazz. Yeah, we did our background over here, man.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how long you been doing music, man?
As long as I could actually remember, my mom got me started, in the church and everything, and I was singing like the car seat, old R&B songs from like SWV, Brian McKnight, and like Stevie Wonder and stuff, and it just kind of like it brought me up to where
Okay.
I am right now. And so like it's been always in me. Like I never had like an issue with like getting into different genres and in the different areas of music. It was just always there. So for as
And
long
it's
as I can
still with you.
remember, and it's
Nice.
still here, and it's still here, and it's still developing.
Okay. Who would you say are some of your influences growing up?
Um, Definitely Usher, definitely Brian McKnight when it comes to vocals, especially. You can hear a little bit of like him in me, especially when I do my falsettos. And then on the other side of things, we got Neo, and there's some like dance pop artists in there somewhere too.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of everything.
Who do you remember listening to you, like as far as your parents playing? Like you said, you grew up hearing a lot of the different musics. What's some of
Um,
the old school
Definitely,
souls that influenced you?
definitely Whitney Houston and like SWV, Luther Vandross. There's so many of them. My mom is like a musician too, so it's like everything musical, everything that sounded good, it was playing.
So talk to us, man. I was listening to because I'm bringing up the speed because I was reached out to when I want to shout out to Overtime, tapping in and letting us know about the dope artists out here, and reaching out to Flexible Dexter to bring you on. So that song Resume, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
resume. Yep.
going crazy, going crazy, man.
The interesting thing about resume is that when you listen to it, you think it's like it's kind of about wanting to get back into the relationship again, but that's not really what it's about. It's about the feelings that you are going through. It's like those stages of grief, and you're like in the denial stage. So you don't necessarily want the relationship back, but it's like you want to get through that mode of like feeling like you want to. So it's like, okay, let me get over this hump. And right now I'm like my mind is tricking me into thinking that I want to get back into it, but I really don't. But let me like work through all those emotions so I can like be have a clear mind and get on with my life.
Get on, as the title says, resume.
Right.
That's dope. That's dope. You know what I mean? No pun intended. But as we resume this podcast, resume this walk with Christian, you also have a acapella version of it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fire because that way it actually gets to showcase your vocals and everything on there. And I was listening to it, and when I seen it, I was like, well, what was the idea with that to actually drop a acapella version as well?
The acapella, it is, yes, you can definitely hear the vocals clearly because there was like some layering that was going on, especially in the chorus parts with the harmony. But then also when it comes to like DJs and stuff, it just makes it easier for them to access so that they can like mix it together, do some mashups with whatever music they want, and they don't have to go too far to find, to strip away the instrumental. Um, and it's just interesting. A lot of people have actually done, a lot of artists that I've listened to over time have actually done that with their songs. So I thought it was like really cool for me to do it too.
What would you say is your creative process when it comes to making like your beat selection and your writing? How do you go about that?
It sometimes just hits me. Most musicians probably like will understand when I say it just hits you. Sometimes you just be randomly like a lot of my ideas have come to me while I'm working because I work in labs and stuff on the side. Like my 9 to 5 is like working in the lab, so it's like I'm doing a lot of things by myself, working with my hands and stuff, and it's like quiet a lot of times. So it's like I have open thought, and a lot of times it just hits me with resume. That one specifically came from a situation with one of my old friends who had like a situation in a relationship or whatever. So, but the actual idea for the song and the melodies and everything didn't come to me until I was just like thinking about it at work the next day, and it was just like kind of flowing out of me. So sometimes it happens like that. Other times it doesn't. Other times it does take a lot of work for you to get to the point where you're like, okay, let me put this on and let me like try to record something. Melodies are always flowing through my head that way. So sometimes if something sticks out to me, I'll record it on my phone as a voice note, and then we'll see like if anything matches up with it.
So speaking of getting to that point, when did you get to a point of from liking and loving music from a a fan perspective to actually wanting to do music and becoming an artist?
I think there was like multiple things. I mean, I've always kind of wanted to do music like as a career, um, but my first step into actually getting into a studio and doing it, it was more like my family definitely had an influence on that. My mom was always in the studio recording music back in like the like 90s 2000s era, so it's like she was a big influence on that. And then also watching certain movies that were about that. One of the biggest ones that made me want to perform was like Honey with like Jessica Alba and stuff. Like the whole concept was like really really cool, and it kind of made me want to get into the industry. Um, and so it's like stuff like that, yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. You remember what your first song was that you actually wrote?
Oh, wow. The first song that I actually wrote never actually made it into the studio. It was it was like something childish. I was about maybe 13 years old, and it was just about like a little crush that I had. But
That was the foundation of Christian Lamar, though.
maybe it was, but I don't even know where that notebook got off to because I wrote it in the middle of class when I was bored and I had finished all my work already. So I guess that was the beginning of writing. But I think the very first song that I wrote was Resume, as far as like being able to actually record it. The one that inspired me to want to record was Resume, because the song I wrote it quite a while ago. I just decided to finally put it out now.
Flexing with Dex, man. Flexing with the world. We got Christian Lamar, man. Philly's own native. Step through VA to flex with us. We out here in Richmond, VA at the moment. You know, we a V 434 base, but we flexing with the world, man. You see how we do, giving it up. Christian Lamar. Let them know where to find you at, all your socials, the platforms to find your music.
Right. So you can find me on well, they calling it X now, but X and Instagram at Christian Lamar underscore. And I'm also on YouTube, Christian Lamar. So I post lots of content on there. My music video that will be for Resume will be on there as well, and also my commentary videos because I do run commentary channel on there. You can find that at Christian Lamar on YouTube as well.
Y'all heard the man. Y'all tap in. Christian Lamar. Flexing with the world. Anybody when you want to shout out back home or anywhere?
Definitely everybody who has inspired me up until this point. Of course, my mother, my family, close friends, personal friends of mine. Tinku Music, who was actually the person who produced Resume, co-produced Resume with me. All I had was my melody and my words, and he was able to pick it up. So I thank him a lot for that. And yeah, just everybody who's been rocking with me up until now. We're going to the top together. So I cannot wait until we all make it there.
Yes, sir. Flexing with Dex, man. Walking with Christian Lamar. So, Christian, we talked about Resume and whatnot. We didn't talk about what's the first track that you actually recorded.
So the very first track I actually recorded was under a different name, my government name, Christian Pringle. And the song is called "Dreamin'." It's a song actually that my mother wrote and produced and
Oh, that's dope.
recorded years ago, back in like the 90s. And she passed it on to me. We reworked it in my range because hers was crazy stupid. So, so we had to lower the key so that I'd be able to sing it, but it's still available on streaming platforms if you search for it. But that song will always hold a special place because it was the first time that I got to record, and it was like a moment for me to get to learn my voice and where I could go with it and everything. And of course, it was a collaboration with my mother, who also does music. And it was like the beginning of our collaborative work together. Right. Yeah. We still do it today. Like even when I'm doing my own stuff that I've written and produced, I still go to her because I know that she has the experience and that she has the knowledge that I maybe not don't have on my own. And even when I'm just lost on ideas, I'm able to go to her for some like direction. Even in Resume, the harmonies that you hear, like she helped me to get in the pocket with that because it was the first time I really did that kind of stacking. So I always appreciate that.
Most definitely. And you said the name of that song is Dreaming.
It's called Dreaming. Yeah.
And it's out on all platforms.
Yep.
You and your mom dudes.
Yep.
That's fire right there, man. Let's talk about some performances. You been able to be out and perform, do any opening acts, anything like that?
Yeah, most recently I opened up for Dougie Fresh and Carl Thomas, and I've also opened up for John B, Melissa Morgan. Way back, I opened up for Beanie Siegel.
Dope. That's
Yeah.
fire.
And
Really?
right, exactly. So like, I've definitely done a lot of performances over the years, but I'm hoping to get into a lot more coming into 2024. There's a bunch of stuff like already I know that's in the works. So yeah, it was fun to also get to meet them and see them kind of outside of what I've known them because I like grew up listening to some of these artists. So to actually be able to see them in person and for them to also compliment me on what I do is everything, because these people are like legends in their right. So I hope to be able to get up to their level and to be able to be seen and by like a lot of people and connect with them and for them to hear my music and connect with me through that as well.
You're already putting in the work, you know what I mean? You're being seen right now, flexing with the world, and that's the thing about it, you know what I'm saying? Artists that take the time out to put in the work, you know what I mean? Come and be seen. Reach out to the platforms like this so they can showcase their talents and let the people know where to find them, where to go find your music, where to look you up at, and things of that sort. So
Right.
yeah, man, it was our pleasure having you on here. What would you say was your most memorable performance?
Ooh. Um, I think that the one that I opened up, which is probably because it was like more recent, but the one that I opened up for John B, and that's because the stage was bigger and there was a lot of people there, and it was just like it was just like a lot more going on. So it's like I got to kind of play around with my element a lot more.
Nice.
The energy, everybody was kind of into it, so I felt, more comfortable on stage. And I also got to work in some of the newer material that I have been working on as well. In the earlier performances, I only had like a couple of songs that I could actually perform because everything else wasn't out yet. So like with this performance, I was able to like do my more experimental things and see how the crowd receives it. So
That's fire. Y'all heard it, man. Y'all know what it is. Christian Lamar, Flexin with Dex, collaborative after Philly Zone out here in VA. And I know this is away from music, but I did, like I said, we do our background checks, and I see that you are a advocate for mental health and things of that nature. How'd you get into that? And how's that?
so I mean, when it comes to especially our community, a lot of times we kind of overlook the importance of mental health and how we go through our like struggle with it every other day. But I never shied away from it. I have friends, family who have gone through a lot mentally and have had to battle a lot of like a lot of stressors. So when it comes down to it, I like to educate myself on different things that you can do or different things that we go through and how to kind of combat that. So I am very in tune with that. I meditate, I pray, I do all the things that like I feel are necessary. Everybody's different, so like you can't like do the same thing that the next person does all the time. But once you find the things that you can do to kind of keep yourself at peace and don't like involve yourself in things that don't bring you peace, I feel like you can have like a better state of mind. So that's my thing, and that's my goal for 2024 is to surround myself with people and things that bring my mind to peace. So that's very important to me as
Most
an
definitely.
artist as well too, because it helps you to flow a lot better. I have so many ideas now that I've like kind of cut out things that don't bring me peace, and I'm only focusing on the things that bring me peace. I feel like as an artist, it's transcended. It's transcended me beyond where I was before.
No doubt. That's peace. Y'all heard it, man. Christian Lamar, Philly Zone, tapping in with us. And We do have the flex line open as always, y'all know. Anytime somebody needs somebody to talk to, somebody to call, our line is always open. And yeah, that's what it's about. Collective minds coming together to show everybody that anything can be achieved. You know what I'm saying? Positive energy always creates elevation. On that note, peace.
Flexing with Dex, flexing with the world. Peace.